Dear students, today we will solve few examples of ratio analysis in Advanced Accounting and Auditing paper 6 for TY BCom semester 5, Veer Nirmal South Gujarat University. Here is question number 1. Calculate from the following information: number 1, net profit ratio, and number 2, return on investment. Other informations: number 1, net profit as per profit and loss account after interest and taxes rupees 65 lakh. Some other details shown in profit and loss account: loss on sale of assets rupees 1 lakh, profit on sale of shares rupees 4 lakh, dividend received on shares rupees 2 lakh, and provision for taxation rupees 15 lakh. 10% debentures rupees 10 lakh, adjusted purchase rupees 2 crore, and stock turnover 20 times on the basis of closing stock. Our gross profit ratio is 33.33%, that is 33 and 1/3%. Fixed assets at cost price rupees 2 crore 74 lakhs. Depreciation fund on fixed assets rupees 14 lakhs. Bank overdraft rupees 50 lakhs. Liquid assets rupees 3 crore and liquid liabilities rupees 2 crore 50 lakhs. And finally, investments worth rupees 40 lakhs. From these informations, we are asked to calculate net profit ratio and return on investment. Let's calculate first net profit ratio. Net profit ratio, and our formula is net profit after tax divided by sales multiplied by 100. Both the things are not readily available for formula, so let us do some working for that. Here is a working for net profit after tax. As per information, we have a net profit after interest and tax is 65 lakhs. But in profit and loss account, there are some informations which are non-operating in nature. So those non-operating nature items will be adjusted. Okay, so first of all we will add loss on sale of assets rupees 1 lakh in our profit, because it was debited to profit and loss account, and due to which our net profit decreased. So now it will be reversed, and that is why loss on sale of assets will be added back. Same way, less profit on sale of shares, it is 4 lakh. This 4 lakh will be deducted because it is our non-operating income. Same way, dividend received worth rupees 2 lakh will also be deducted from the net profit because it is our non-operating income and credited to profit and loss account. So finally we will get net profit or a net operating profit rupees 60 lakhs, and this net profit will be used for the calculation of net profit ratio. Now we will see the working for sale. In information given, we have gross profit ratio 33.33%. It means it is 33.33% of total sales. So our cost of sale is 66.667% of total sales. Now from this information we will calculate total sales, and total sales will be calculated by using formula, that is cost of sales divided by percentage of cost to sales multiplied by 100. We have adjusted purchase in question rupees 2 crore, and adjusted purchase is nothing but our cost of sales, that is rupees 2 crore divided by 66.67%. So our total sales amount to rupees 3 crore. Now we will put both this information in our formula. So net profit rupees 60 lakh divided by sales rupees 3 crores multiplied by 100. So our net profit ratio amounts to 20%. Now second point, return on capital employed, and our formula is earning before interest and tax divided by capital employed multiplied by 100. Both the things are not available, so we will calculate. First, working for EBIT, we have net profit after tax rupees 60 lakhs. Already we have calculated in net profit ratio. In this net profit after tax, we will add provision for taxation, which is readily available in this sum, rupees 15 lakh. And further we will add debenture interest at 10% on rupees 10 lakh. So it is rupees 1 lakh. So finally we will get EBIT rupees 76 lakhs. And now we will work out capital employed using assets approach. So first of all we will take fixed assets less depreciation. So 2 crore 74 lakh minus 14 lakhs, it is 2 crore 60 lakhs, plus investments worth rupees 40 lakhs, plus current assets, that is liquid assets plus closing stock, it amounts to 3 crore 10 lakhs. So our total assets amount to 6 crore 10 lakhs less current liabilities, that is liquid liabilities plus overdraft amount rupees 3 crore. So finally we get capital employed or a net asset rupees 3 crore 10 lakhs. Now we will put both these informations in our formula. So 76 lakh divided by 3 crore 10 lakhs multiplied by 100. So it amounts to 24.52%. Now let us solve the second example. Here we have current ratio 2.8:1, liquid ratio 1.5:1, and working capital rupees 1,62,000. There is no bank overdraft in current liabilities, and we are asked to find out current assets, current liabilities and liquid assets. Okay, let us solve the question. We have a current ratio 2.8:1 and working capital rupees 1,62,000. Now suppose our total current assets is 2.8x. So our current liabilities would be equal to x, and working capital formula is current assets minus current liabilities. So 1,62,000 is equal to 2.8x our current assets minus x our current liabilities. So finally we reach to 1,62,000 is equal to 1.8x, and next step 1,62,000 divided by 1.8 is equal to x. So we get x is equal to rupees 90,000, and we assumed x for our current liabilities. It means we got current liabilities rupees 90,000. Okay, now current assets. We have assumption of current assets, that is 2.8x. Now let us put 90,000 as x. So our current assets would be 2.8 multiply 90,000. So finally we get current assets rupees 2,52,000. And now let us calculate liquid assets. We have liquid ratio 1.5:1, and there is no bank overdraft in current liabilities. It means our current liabilities is equal to liquid liabilities, that is rupees 90,000. Already we have calculated. Now let us put the formula of liquid ratios. So liquid ratio is equal to liquid assets upon liquid liabilities. 1.5 is equal to liquid assets missing liquid liabilities rupees 90,000. Now let us do some mathematical operations. So 1.5 multiply 90,000 is equal to liquid assets. So finally we get rupees 1,35,000 as liquid assets. And finally current assets rupees 2,52,000 already we calculated. Current liabilities rupees 90,000 calculated, and liquid assets rupees 1,35,000. Okay, let us check another example. Here we have stock turnover ratio is 4 times. Opening stock is 2,500 less than closing stock. Average stock is rupees 11,250, and we are asked to find out purchase from the data. First of all, we will see working of cost of sales, that is cost of goods sold, and for that we will use formula of stock turnover ratio. The formula is cost of goods sold divided by average stock. Now let us put the available data. Stock turnover rate 4 is equal to cost of sale not available divided by average stock 11,250. So in next step we will get 4 multiply 11,250 is equal to cost of sales. So it is 45,000 is cost of sales. Now we have information that opening stock is rupees 2,500 less than closing stock. It means closing stock minus opening stock is equal to rupees 2,500. So now let us calculate purchase. We use the formula purchase is equal to cost of sales plus closing stock minus opening stock. Now let us put the available data. Cost of sale already we calculated 45,000 plus here we directly take 2,500, which is nothing but the difference of closing stock and opening stock. So our purchase amount to rupees 47,500. That's all. Okay, now let us calculate sum number 4. We are asked to calculate net profit ratio and return on investment. Here are the data. Net profit before interest and tax rupees 12 lakh. Tax rate 50%. Sales rupees 13,50,000. 10% debentures rupees 10 lakh. Equity share capital rupees 20 lakhs and 12% preference share capital rupees 10 lakh. First we will calculate net profit ratio, and our formula is net profit after tax divided by sales multiplied by 100. Sale is readily available, that 13,50,000, but net profit after tax is not available. So let us work out net profit after tax. We have net profit before interest and tax, that is EBIT, worth rupees 12 lakh. From these 12 lakh we will deduct debenture interest, that is 10% of rupees 10 lakh amounts to rupees 1 lakh. So finally we get net profit before tax 11 lakh. From this net profit before tax we will deduct provision for tax at 50%, that is 50% of 11 lakh amounts to 5,50,000, and finally we get net profit after tax rupees 5,50,000. Now let us put the data in our formula. 5,50,000 divided by sales 13,75,000 multiplied by 100. So finally we get net profit ratio 40%. Okay. Now second requirement, return on investment, that is nothing but our return on capital employed, and our formula is EBIT upon capital employed multiplied by 100. EBIT is readily available, that is net profit before interest and tax rupees 12 lakh. Now capital employed. For capital employed we have equity share capital worth rupees 20 lakh, preference share capital worth rupees 10 lakh, and 10% debentures worth rupees 10 lakh. So total 40 lakhs minus deferred revenue expenditure or a fictitious assets which is not available in the sum. So our capital employed amounts to rupees 40 lakhs, and finally we get return on investment or return on capital employed as 40%. Dear students, here we solved 4 sums of ratio analysis. We will meet again with new examples in the same chapter, ratio analysis. Thank you very much for watching this video lecture. Keep watching, keep practicing for your university exams. Thank you very much.